Hello. I have a fairly recent journal. This is from 511, and the Mayan day was the start of a new trecena. It was one Vulture, owl, or wisdom. Here goes. Here we go again. I no sooner decide it's time to lay down and sleep, and my insides are so full I must come to the journal and write. Also, as usual, I don't even know the subject, the topic that will come out. There is an interesting intensity within tonight. Not sure what it's about. Today is the first of the new Mayan trecena, or 13-day cycle, roughly approximating our week. It's interesting the times we now live in. The announcement from Mayan Majix in their newsletter indicated that this is the last wisdom trecena between now and the end of the long calendar, December 21st. Things that make you go, and remember that you're in 2012. Does that date seem close to you? It really doesn't to me. But then I am so aware of the incremental ascending that I seem to be doing every day now. Don't you feel the changes in yourself as well? Well, what are they but you daily ascending? Whether there will be on that date or any other some big move that will propel us suddenly into some new reality or not, I don't know. I don't really care either. Why not? Because I know that in the perfection that everything is and always has been, all will be right, no matter what. Well, that's enough for me. It can manifest any way it likes. I don't really care. My thrust or work has been to help people shift their vision mostly. Have you noticed that emphasis? The way I see it, heaven is right here, right now. These dimensions or realms are interpenetrating, but they're all right here. There's no need to go anywhere or do anything. We just have to shift. It's mostly a vibrational or a frequency thing. Can you see and accept that? At least that it might be the case? If you feel strongly that things are some other way, please do share that in the comments. I'm really interested. I love truth, no matter what the mouthpiece may be. That too doesn't matter. Just that it's spoken, it's shared. That's all that counts. I don't just pray for the angels to bring the light beings to my work or my journals, but to all the work of those speaking truth. Nor as close as we can get to that here in 3D. It doesn't matter who. Can you see that? Are you getting not the point, but the sense of what's being said here? We are not persons at all. There are no persons here. There is no enlightenment. There is no Savior and no one who needs to be saved. It's all an illusion we agreed to participate in, but it's breaking up now, and it's time for us to wake up and just see. It's time to let go of the particulars. We're bigger than that, much bigger. It's time to get right to the core of things where our oneness abides and to dive right in. It must not matter anymore who says what or does what or whatever the details are. We must raise our vision and our vibration so that we connect with what's behind everything. All of this. It's time to be connecting to the level of the absolutes that I mentioned in the orb story, the divine attributes. When and as we do this, we will find it is ourselves. only not like we ever knew self before. To really see, we are laying the false self aside and letting it die. It's traumatic, too, to the extent we have identified with it and no more. If we want to be free of pain, we just have to drop the identity, the identification of self as that. Our vision was too narrow, too small. We wouldn't let the greater, the grander reality in because of it. We wore the blinders based on all the false beliefs we had hidden away, tucked safely, or so the powers that were thought, into the subconscious mind. They felt all of their early childhood programming they'd done on us was very safe there and out of our reach. Well, sorry, guys. Maybe that's the way of things of the past, but no more. We're busting out of this place, breaking all the prison bars down on our way out. Actually, we've got the key, and many of us have just found it now, but maybe it's just more fun to knock down a few prison walls on the way out, even though we do have the key. The veils are thinning. That's one way of looking at this, and it works. It's just not the whole story, though. The whole story won't be told because it can't until we, each one of us, wakes up to our own majesty. And not just mentally either. It's all well and good to acknowledge that, sure, we could be divine. Maybe we're even convinced that it must be so, but mostly only mentally, huh? Well, that won't go. That won't go the full course and run the race we've set before us now. Oh no, it's not nearly enough, this mental knowing. That's very fragile at best. It doesn't pack the alchemical punch of a real experiential knowing that fairly knocks you over with the wild realization, the total cellular level acceptance that you are effectively God on earth come in the flesh. It can't be blasphemy, friends, to declare our own true identity. That's what we are. We've been bullied and buried under such a weight and burden of lies, manipulation, and abuse that we just gave in and let them minimize us right down into little inconsequential nothings, ape ancestors of biological goo that accidentally came together just right to create man. Uh-huh. Well, again and again, I will remind all who will listen. Listen up. We were not created by any ETs. Sure, there has been plenty of, shall we say, DNA intervention here, but what is that? That is somebody working on our cars. Hear this. You are not the body there. Sorry for shouting, but if I could just get this one thing clearly through to people so they won't fall for that particular strain of lies, I would just leap for joy. ETs can't create souls or beings or consciousness or whatever you call what we really are, though they want to be worshipped for that. That is a job for Prime Creator or Source or whatever you call that. As for the rest, it isn't quite inconsequential, this shifting and altering of the DNA, I'll give you that. But really, overall, it's just not that important. It's like changing our avatar in the game. It changes the play, but not totally. Please, oh please, do get this so you too can pass it on by comments on the various videos you watch where this strain of lies is running rampant. It breeds fear, for one thing, being so great they can create us, as if. For another, it puts us in an automatic subservient position to those beings, which is really what they want and need. These beings have such egos that they feel a deep need to be worshipped and revered. May I suggest we all say not only no, but hell no? Come on, we've had more than enough of that nonsense to last a few thousand millennia more. I'm up to here with this arrogance going around and parading itself as God. No such thing. It's utter nonsense what they're trying to get away with here. Just because they ran it up the flagpole and we all saluted it long ago means absolutely nothing about now. And they're finding it out too. Now, my friends, it's our turn to be sovereign and not bow down to anyone or anything ever again. Even the so-called judgment, which we were all taught to fear, is nothing but the antics of the ETs getting us to worship and pray to them out of our fear. It's pathetic. In the life review, when we cross over, when the body dies, no one judges us. The reality is that we judge ourselves. And the harsher we are, that just shows the youth of our soul. Old souls don't go for that at all. Any whose life review or experience seemed to include a measure of judgment by beings of any sort, I suggest to you that came from that person's buried beliefs and programming. They accepted that. They expected that. If it was real, it would turn up in almost everyone's other side experience, and instead it's quite rare. It's the same with experiences of hell. It doesn't exist except for in some people's beliefs. So for them it can be real, at least for a short time. Notice, though, that as soon as they pray, they're released. We create our reality a heck of a lot more than we've been taught to notice. Yet, once we start to notice, once we're shown the truth of it, suddenly we begin to see it everywhere. We're more in charge of things than we know. Now, do stay out of mind with this. That doesn't mean we can suddenly be rich and have all the goodies the ego wants. Please, stick to heart with all that you find here. It's the only way to truly understand it. Our power to create doesn't manifest that way, but it's there. As long as the mind is skeptical, demanding proof first, it will have no proof. Mind doesn't realize that that is its way of preventing the very manifestation it says it desires. You can thumb your nose at fire all you like, but be prepared to get burned when you put your hand into it. Thumbing your nose won't change that. I love it here. The whippoorwills have returned after about a 10-year absence. Their nighttime calls are so loud and so clear, so melodious too. In nature, we are all so very blessed. I feel for those living in cities where they don't hear the trill of many birds. We have so many here, it's tricky just to be able to name them all. I'd like to know them all by their calls too, but I don't, not quite yet. Anyway, perhaps it's my time to be just going to sleep as the sun rises. Who knows why? It just is what it is, and I'm very glad to be able to indulge it. Soon enough, I'll understand. Meanwhile, I'll walk in faith. Faith that Source has things well in hand, and I don't need any faith to know that everything is perfect. Just as I don't need to believe in the sun for it to shine. It just does, and I know it. Blessings, my friend. Claim your blessings, which are literally all around and within and around us. Stop looking so much at the problems. Take time to stop and smell the roses, fresh mown grass, and hear the birds sing. Good day.